Spain has lifted its state of emergency. It's reopened its borders to Europe, the United Kingdom and Britain. What does this mean? Can we just get on a plane to Tenerife, spend 2 weeks all inclusive at our favourite hotel? Surely there's got to be a catch. Well, we're about to find out, because we are going live over to the island of Tenerife to speak to Tim Dowd, YouTuber, podcaster and local resident of the island of Tenerife. He's going to answer all the questions that we need to know. Before we dive in though, don't forget to like, subscribe, click that little bell for notifications of when I upload new videos. Follow me on Instagram, which is down there. Get your MacMaster merchandise. All the links are down below as well. Now without further ado, let's go. There we go, Tim. I like that clapperboard.
I've had it years. I just found it again the other day. Professional.
I like that. Roll. Scene one, take one.
You know what Moss means?
MacMaster's off his... I don't know. Go on.
Moss actually means mit ohne Sound, because so many of the sound people and the filmmakers in Hollywood back in the 20s were from Austria and Germany. Mit ohne Sound is like a colloquialism to mean silent. Mit ohne means with no sound, without sound.
There you go. You learn something new every day.
That's true.
Now I've got some questions for you.
Ready for my close-up? Oh, go ahead.
So you're looking very clean shaven there today, Tim.
Thank you very much.
Right, so you know what question number 10 is, but we won't go to that one yet. So first of all, what's the weather like?
The weather is a perfect June day. It's the island of eternal spring, so we've got 25 in the shade, I think it is. Just about 25 in the shade. Hasn't dropped below 23 in the night, so I usually check it between midnight and 1 o'clock. Did not drop below 23. Last week we had one, in fact I called you on the night where it went up to over 30 degrees over midnight, and after that it's been beautiful days after that. A little bit hazy today on the La Gomera side, but I'll do. So perfect for the people who are flying in.
No, we'll get to that. Let's get them in order. I've sent you these over, so you prepped for it. So question number 10 though, you knew that anyway. Well, question number 2, because one was what's the weather like, always start with what's the weather like. Is it true, and I'm reading these off my iPad at the side here, is it true now that Tenerife has left its state of emergency and left phase 3? So have you left phase 3 now then?
Yes, we have. Basically midnight Saturday, so the 100 hours on the 21st, we came out of the state of alarm, it's called here, and we're into, I don't want to use the word, into normal everyday workings. Not a lot really changed between phase 3 and now, apart from certain capacities in bars and stuff. They had a meeting on Thursday and they decided what the new normal, I'm going to use it, the new normal looks like, and they issued a BOE, which is a Bulletin Oficial Estado, which means an official state bulletin. And straight after that, the Canary Islands issued a BOC, which is a Bulletin Oficial Canarias, the official bulletin of the Canary Islands. And this gives you all the things you need to know for the new normal, which is very simple, actually. I don't know if the next question is what is the new normal?
Well, the next... No, it's not. What's the new normal?
So, yes, we are now out of the state of emergency, yes.
Okay, right, now then, this is an interesting one, so listen carefully, folks. Spain has also lifted its state of emergency, reopening its borders to visitors for most of Europe and allowing British tourists, in without having to quarantine. Does this include Tenerife, and what is the reality behind this? as it surely can't be that straightforward. There's still got to be some kind of catch. I mean, first of all, we've got to quarantine when we return back to the UK for now. I think that's changing later on in the month. And plus, the UK government website states essential travel only. So can you tell me a little bit more about this, please?
I can. So, irrespective of Britain, Spain decided to open its borders because we're at a state now where we can start relaxing. But with caveats. That means anybody entering is going to be tested. There are 3 main tests at every port, including airports, seaports, and road borders. These tests have to be carried out. So what we did say was we are opening the borders as of yesterday, so 21st, and it's been going on for the past couple of weeks. We've been discussing the Brits are going to come in and if we're going to allow Brits and stuff like that. And what they said was we're not going to differentiate because we believe that the 3 tests that we're going to do are enough. So it doesn't matter where you're coming from. Within the European Union and the Schengen area, we're going to let you in. They did that mostly, and I heard yesterday and also again today, 2 different sources mentioning this, that Spain have realised that tourists as such, the holidaymakers, are not going to be able to come immediately, because they have got this state of alarm in the UK, for instance, and they're not supposed to travel for the Foreign and Commonwealth Office. So what they did is the UK is allowed in because there are a lot of people who have second homes here. And they need to get back to do maintenance or to do something or to get it ready for the summer or whatever. So they said, we're not going to block Brits per se. We're going to keep everything open. And the reason that the UK is being involved is mainly because of the people who have second homes here. So they're the people that can pick up sticks, get on a plane, come over straight away. Obviously, if you're staying in a hotel, your hotel needs to be open, and a lot of them are still not till the middle of June. Jet2 aren't flying, so you'd be hard-pressed to get a flight. But yeah, we are open for business, we are open for the UK, and as long as you take the 3 tests, which is probably the question, is it, or the other question?
It's one of the questions. Do they take the tests when they get there, or are they going to take them before they get on the plane in the UK?
No, basically, the 3 tests are very simple. It's fill out a form on the plane, which includes where have you been, where you're going, where you're staying. Basically, so we can, if something goes wrong with your flight or somebody on your flight falls ill, that we can contact you. So it's for your protection. The second thing is all Spanish airports have been decked out with thermal imaging cameras. They do say hidden thermal imaging cameras, so you can't miss them because you don't know where they are. So everybody getting off a plane will be thermally imaged, so anybody with a high temperature will be stopped. And there is a passport and physical control of every person getting off. Now, I've not seen how this works, but I did hear today that it doesn't happen at passport control. It happens when you get off the plane.
Right.
You're looked at, you're not examined physically, I don't think, but you're looked at, make sure that you don't look ill, make sure you're not. I really don't know how that's working, but that's the 3rd test. So you've got to fill out a form, you will be photographed with your temperature, and somebody will come and look at you. So if they feel then that everything's fine, you'll be let through, and you go into our new normal. Obviously, you do have to do what our laws are here, which is, everybody's actually taking the law seriously here. So if you do come, it's not like in Britain where you're sort of like, oh yeah, I might wear a mask or something like that. People are actually doing it here, so you need to get that mindset. It's for your own protection.
Excellent. So that brings me to question number 4 then, which I think you've covered almost in that last one, really, because it says there was talks of having to provide proof of return or address where we're staying. Also, is there a minimum stay of 5 days? Is this still the case? And if so, why? What's the 5 days?
I heard that last week, but I've not found it in any of the bulletins. And I've not read the whole text of the bulletin. I've read certain areas of it. I've translated a few. But I searched for Cinco Dias or the number 5. the word cinco, and I couldn't find it. And I looked for the word dias, and that's nothing to do with how many. So I don't think so. I don't think there is a limit of when you're going to come in.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense to me, that at all. It made no sense.
Came from, maybe it was somebody thinking that we don't want you popping in and out. I don't know.
Maybe. Right, so that brings me to question number 5 then. Are you ready for question number 5? Okay.
I am.
What are people to expect when visiting Tenerife in the new normal? Less restaurants open, less bars. Is it going to be a ghost town? I've actually seen on some Facebook pages that it's starting to get a bit more lively, because there was a plane load of Germans came over, wasn't there, the other day? Yesterday, I believe.
18
people, 18 Germans. 18, sorry, you broke up, 18.
18 people on the flight, 18.
Not many.
Well, as I say, it was the first day, so only those people who've got a place to stay would come, and it's usually people who are returning to the island that just didn't have the residency certificate. Otherwise, they would have been able to come earlier. So I think that's between now and the 1st of July, or even the middle of July. I think we're only really expecting people to arrive that have got properties here, or have got business here. That, because before you couldn't come on business either. So I think that's the people we're going to get. To get back to your question, I feel that the more people arrive, the more things will be open. So I know that sounds stupid and, self-explanatory, but there are certain restaurants that say it's not worth us employing the staff if there's only 10% of the tourists. So it's a two-way street. The more of you come, the more things will open. At the moment, if you're thinking of coming on vacation and you have a hotel, then obviously the hotel is going to be open at a specific capacity, so that should be okay. The pools are open as long as they're being controlled. The beaches are all open, and they are also being controlled for capacity. And also no smoking, no dogs, that type of thing. They're keeping that. But if you want to come and go to a disco, don't come, because the dance floors are closed. But if you want to come and, let's say every 5th restaurant is closed, or even let's say every 5th restaurant is open, you're still going to have 100 restaurants to choose from.
Yeah, there's going to be quite a few.
It's not that you're not. I don't know how to put this. It's quite nice being quiet. It's quite nice being able to relax and not too many people, hanging around. And it's quite nice to be in a hotel where there's nobody up at 4:00 in the morning, just come home from Veronica's drunk and spewing up all over the place. It depends what you want. So at the moment, we are a very, very nice weather island. You can relax, you can eat the food, drink the drink. Maybe not every restaurant's open, but there's enough open that you don't have to go to the same one every night. Although 90% of the people do,
They do, yeah, that's the thing.
They're favorites, and that's it, So if your favourite restaurant isn't open, it's the ideal time to find a new favourite.
Yeah, and there's plenty to choose from. I think you're quite right there. The more we go along, then the more restaurants are going to be open and bars are going to be open, because the more people that come in, it's going to warrant it. Okay, so that takes me now to question number 6, which is, what social distancing measures are in place, and should they be ready to experience a different Tenerife?
Different Tenerife, yes. Worse Tenerife, I don't think so. I think the social distancing measures are very, very simple here. If you are out and about, you don't need to wear a mask. You can mingle with up to 20 of your friends quite normally in a group. If you come to a position where you cannot guarantee a 1.5 meter distance between somebody you don't know, then pop your mask on.
Yeah.
That's it, basically. And also, if you're entering a shop, or you're entering a chemist or a post office, or anywhere that isn't a bar or restaurant, you need to put your mask on. So you're keeping distance from the people who are serving you. Certain shops have got all shops have got a particular capacity based on square footage. And so when that capacity is reached, they just close the doors and put a sign up saying capacity full and one out, one in. With the beaches, in the Canary Islands, we haven't really gone the route of sectioning it off into squares and everybody gets allocated a square. There are some ropes around, but it's not that stringent. What the beaches have done is they have looked at the square meterage, and they've said that every person needs 4 square meters. So they're just dividing the square meterage by 4, and that's how many people are allowed on the beach. So if you do come over and you do go to a popular beach and there are people there that are controlling the capacity, it's not personal when they say, I'm sorry, we're full. Okay, you just go to a different beach or wait.
Yeah.
And that's about it, really. The only thing that is totally different is that nightclubs and nightlife is only going to be allowed outside, so then you can't go into a club, and there is no dance floors are open. I don't know how long that's going to stay, but that's what it is at the moment.
Can't do my dad dancing then.
Thank God for that.
I have one more question actually on that. Do they need to bring their own masks? I mean, you don't want to be. They need to be armed with masks, really, don't they? Because you come over there and they haven't got any, they can't get hold of any. You're not going to be allowed in certain places. So, is it a good idea to come armed with a suitcase full of masks?
Oh, that's a good idea. I mean, I don't know. I did read somewhere that they have to be certain types of masks, and you have to buy them at the chemists.
Right.
No, I didn't read that. I interpreted it that masks would be made available, but I don't know whether it's going to be free or not. But what I would say is bring enough masks for the first few days, and then if you run out, nip to a chemist. But I'm sure we won't run out of masks. I'm sure there should be enough. You've no need to bring a case full, I don't think. Unless they're cheaper over there. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you one thing, though, and it might be worthwhile noting this, viewers. Last time I went over, I tried to get some hand sanitizer in Tenerife because when the outbreak happened at the hotel, and the hand sanitizer was ridiculously pricey. It was something like about €20. So take your own hand sanitizer, pop them in your suitcase, and take some masks with you as well, because you can guarantee that if you go to the chemist over there, you're going to be paying top dollar for it. So
that's true, but all the places where you need hand sanitizer have to supply it. So that means when you enter a shop, there is hand sanitizer available to you. So as long as you got your own mask, you go in and they will supply the hand sanitizer. All the bars, restaurants have to supply it.
Right. Okay.
There's another thing that maybe I didn't mention was that the restaurants, there's going to be sort of like no condiments on the table. There's going to be no decorations on the table, no menus. So your menu is either on your phone or on a blackboard somewhere. So that's going to change slightly. And I heard on Janet Anscombe and Cleo's podcast today that the buffets, they are already going to be plated. So certain buffets are going to be a plate of food that you pick up. Not you walk along with a plate and say, I'll have a bit of that and a bit of that and a bit of that. They will be plates that you go and pick up. So it might have stuff on it you like and you don't like, or not enough of one and too much of another. But that is the new buffet style, according to this podcast I listened today. Obviously, as it goes on and hotels start opening and stuff, you might have different people doing that. But that's the theory up to now. They're not going to serve you. They're going to plate up in the kitchen and just display the plates, and you go past and pick one up. Right,
that's the new buffet normal. Then I take it.
That is, I think that's the one I've heard about. That the other one was that people are going to serve you, but I don't think that model is sustainable for what they pay.
Okay, right. Well, that takes me to number 7. How long do you personally think this new normal will continue? Surely we can't go on social distancing for years to come.
You're right. We probably can't, but we probably will. I think that, as we said before, after 9/11, a lot of things changed, and we now feel like it's normal to take your shoes off at the airport. So what I'm thinking is that the new normal will stay at least until there is A, a vaccine available, or B, a guaranteed treatment. So you don't stop you getting it, but at least there's a medicine you can take that stops you getting really seriously ill. So until one of those two things happens, I think the new normal will stay in. But as I said, it's very, very simple. Keep your distance, wash your hands, wear a mask if you're closer than 1.5 meters, and just bit of common sense.
Okay, right, number 8. Interesting one, a little bit different. I read on Janet Anscombe's website that there were quite a few cases of robbery, as lots of people living hand to mouth. Now, as Janet quite rightly put it, I don't want to scaremonger anybody and put anybody off going, but what are we to expect when we return? Are we safe? Can you tell me a little bit more about this, please? This is on her website, actually. The link's down below.
Yeah, we did have a couple of incidents that were unnatural in my mind. I mean, even in our little village here, and we're quite a small village, there's a supermarket down the bottom called Why, and a guy walked in there and stabbed a cashier and nicked the money. So that's something that we don't get very often. Having said that, last year there was an armed robbery there. So it's on the corner of a big wide road. So you've got a quick getaway. So I don't know. So that was one thing. And also we've noticed a couple of incidents of people robbing closed premises. So they know they're closed when they go in and they try and nick the TVs and stuff. One of the local hotels got broken into not so long ago. So yeah, there is crime here. Probably not as prevalent as after I read your question, I went to find out what the violent crime in Leeds was, and even though Leeds is the 10th safest place in Britain, Birmingham being the safest place in Britain, the violent crime in Leeds was 144% of the national average. So it depends. If you live in the middle of Leeds and violent crime is 144%, but you haven't seen any, that's what I'm like here. I've not seen it, but I do know it goes on. All I'm saying is, if you're walking around with hundreds of euros in your pocket and you've got a nice little sentimental value picture, as Janet Anscombe puts it, then if that gets robbed, you're going to lose a lot. Just take out what you need, be aware of your surroundings, look people in the eye, and you should be okay. Don't go out late at night on your own. Don't get drunk, fall down, that type of thing.
Okay, so that brings me to number 9. Almost at number 10 now. Almost at number 10. Number 9 is, okay, so how safe is Tenerife now? What are the latest COVID-19 figures?
Well, I looked yesterday, and I did my podcast yesterday and put the latest up, and I was really impressed that it was under 75 in the whole of the Canary Islands, and we've only got 21, and apart from one guy that got it in Abona, San Miguel de Abona, we've been COVID-free in the south for over a month or even 2 months in some places, and then all of a sudden we get another 14 cases. But the sort of good news is they all came in on a boat to Fuerteventura. And so even though our R rate has gone up, we're still pretty safe. So I think that we've locked it out in Tenerife. We are feeling quite insulated here, being an island, of course. And so I think you're going to be pretty safe. So we just ask you don't bring it. And that's another reason when you come over. I mean, if you're feeling ill, don't travel. It's and I'm not saying that to Brits, I'm saying that to anybody.
You will be turned away if you have it.
Yeah, the thing is, if the test that they've put in, if you got it yesterday from the guy that you met on the way to the airport or whatever, they won't catch you, So all you got to do is to make sure you've washed your hands, make sure you haven't been in contact with people you don't know, 1.5 meters, wear the mask, all that stuff. As long as you've done all that, then you should be quite free of COVID. So
Excellent. Right, which brings me to number 10, because it's not quite as straightforward, I don't think, as can we or can't we. It's always the same question, but people now seem to think that it's as easy as book a flight, come over to Tenerife, and as we're allowed. So what's your view on this? Can we? Normally my question is, when do you think we'll be able to? There's got to be a catch. Surely I cannot go to the airport, jump on a plane and come over to Tenerife now.
That is not true. You can. If you can get a flight today, you can jump on the airplane, fill out the form, get your temperature taken, have the passport and personal interview, and you're in. The only thing is you have to have a place to stay, and you have to write that on the form, and you actually have to stay there. So it is simple.
So the catches are, you've got to have a place to stay.
Yeah.
You've got to have your temperature taken, which is secretly hidden, so you can't dodge the things. So they're the only two catches. Well, the third catch would be when you return to the UK, you're going to have to quarantine for 2 weeks at the present time.
I don't mind. Stay here 2 weeks.
There is talks of the British government, now that Spain have actually opened the borders, that the British government are going to drop this 2 weeks quarantine because they're going to do an air bridge with Spain.
Well, the first thing they've got to do is to change their Foreign and Commonwealth Office alert. So at the moment, they're saying British nationals should only use essential travel. And if essential travel is I want to go and sip a margarita with Tim, then that's okay. As long as then that's essential. But that's the first thing they got to do. The second thing they got to do is to make it easy for you to return. Otherwise, it'd be a waste of time coming over. But basically, as I said right at the beginning, it's designed at the moment for people who have properties here or have a place to stay here to come over. It's designed for people to come and do business. And it's not really designed for you to come and do a 2 week all-inclusive at the moment. Even though there probably are places that are open, but not a lot are open.
So what's your thoughts of when we'll be able to return for a 2 week all-inclusive? What date do you think that'll be?
Well, Jet2 have said they're going to start flying on the 15th of July. I think that's a good gauge. So if Jet2 are back up and running by the 15th, I think that would be for me. And we've said it all along, middle of July is going to be the beginning. But the Canary Islands have always said it's slowly. We can't go from 0 to 100 miles an hour in one day. So there will be at the beginning less offers, less open, but enough, I would think, for the amount of tourists we're expecting.
Yeah.
We don't expect to be full capacity of tourists and no restaurants open. That's not going to happen. It's going to be gradual. I think personally that October, November is going to be the beginning of our high season. A lot of people think high season is summer here, and it isn't. It's the high season is the winter here. So it's the beginning of October, November, when the swallows come back and the winter holidays start. That's going to be when we see normal levels. Obviously, there are going to be some people who have cancelled their winter holiday for this year and booked for next year, so I think we're going to lose those. But we might get people who've decided, hey, I deserve a holiday last minute. Let's go do a winter holiday. So there might be some things to pick up there. I've had too many people doing two things. Either they're saying it's dirt cheap, get a flight, and other people are saying I've looked for December and it's astronomical. So it depends also on the supply and demand of what's going to be available.
Yeah. So you think anybody who's got holidays booked for mid-July onwards, that they'll definitely be on, do you think?
I'm not sure, because obviously if you've already booked it last year but the hotel's not open, then obviously you're going to be cancelled. But if you've booked it and your hotel is going to be open, a lot of people have contacted me actually saying, do you know if this hotel's open? And all I do is I go direct onto the hotel's website and I try and book for the 1st of July. That's what I do. And then it'll say nothing available till the 15th. So I know that hotel is accepting bookings for the 15th of July.
Yeah.
So if you want to do that, if you want to just make, if you've got something with Jet2 and you're staying at, Sheraton La Coletta, which is one of my favourite hotels, then go onto the Sheraton website, try and book for your dates. And if they don't allow you to book, then you're probably not gonna fly. And again, with a lot of they're not cancelling until shortly before you leave, because they don't know what's happening. No?
Yeah, yeah. I think I'll be seeing you. People keep asking me actually, when have I booked my flight yet? I haven't booked my flight yet. Main reason being is I'm waiting to see what happens. I will be going over again in July, but I want to make exactly sure that the flights are on. I've got a hotel to go to or a place to stay, and I want to make 100% sure. I don't want to be messing around, so that's why I've waited. I've always personally thought it's going to be about mid-July, so
I think you're probably right.
Yeah,
July 5th. Probably going to be a good gauge.
Yeah, and plus by then I think the UK government will have done something, because although I've said that the UK government aren't talking to the airlines, I have read that they are actually keeping in touch with each other quite closely. So I think they'll be talking, saying, hey, come on, we need an air bridge, we don't want quarantine on the way back, otherwise it's going to have ongoing effects with the airline industry.
Exactly.
So that's interesting. In fact, in another vlog I'm recording later on this week, I'm actually speaking to a travel operator friend of mine, and he's going to give me a few ins and outs of what's going off in the travel industry. So that'll be quite interesting. So all the COVID-19 figures, by the way, are on your podcast, which is down below.
Yes.
So that gives you quite an in-depth look at what the figures are in different regions. Tim's got an excellent podcast. I've said this before. He's also got his own YouTube channel. All the links are down below, so head over there. Make sure you subscribe to this man's YouTube channel, because it is spot on. He did a really good vlog the other week as well, walking around. He's even got a camera that moves on its own.
The Alcala. I've got it here now, but I'm on the monopod.
So
I went live on Facebook the other day with my 360 camera. So if you're on Facebook, go to Living with MS in Tenerife, so at LWMST, and have a look at that live video. And that was hilarious. I had this massive head, so we'd had a bit of fun as well. So if you like a bit of banter on the balcony, we did. Unfortunately, I don't have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, so I can't go live on YouTube. But maybe that's something we need to change.
Get him up to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Come on, head over there now. The link's down below. Click on his channel, click the subscribe and click the bell. Let's get him to 1,000. That's our mission. Come on, let's go.
A bottle of wine.
It's what, sorry?
Then we'll do a live video after a bottle of wine.
Then we'll do a live video after a bottle of wine. That's it. So I think that clears most of the questions up. So, I mean, there's not really much more to say. We'll be coming over mid-July. There are a few catches there, but nothing that you can overcome. So I think that's
tomorrow, and I'll get you one of these flats down here.
That's it. Oh yeah, I can see there diving into the pool from well, I can't dive from the balcony. I won't do that. That's not right.
No. 50 euros a night.
How much? Sorry.
50 euros a night.
That's not bad.
That's two couples. That's 12.5 quid each.
12.5. That's not bad, is it? That's pretty good. You'll be getting inundated with people now asking whether they can book through you.
Eddie, he's the local guy that rents out the flats here.
The local guy, Eddie. That's it. You need to speak to Eddie. Right. Well, thank you very much. It looks great weather. Go on, show us around. Just show us quickly. Let's have a look. Oh, look at that.
Las Americas, Los Cristianos, Brazil, Florida, La Gomera, and the beach.
Very nice. Oh, man.
Oh, it's hot out here. My feet are burning.
Well, I should be back definitely in July, and I'll be getting lots of €1 pints.
Yes, well, you get a load from me as well.
That's it, sorted. So, anyway, thank you very much, Tim. You've been very good, very informative. And don't forget, let's get into 1,000 subscribers. Click on his channel, links below.
Thanks very much, Nick.
I'll see you later. You're breaking up a bit.
It's up on again.
See you, Tim. Bye-bye. Well, there you go, Tim Dowd there over in the island of Tenerife. Don't forget to subscribe to his YouTube channel. The links are down below. Let's get him to 1,000 subscribers. He does some excellent videos, and I know he's doing another one later this week as well. Now, I have some shout outs and some people wearing McMaster merchandise. We've got Terry Shakespeare from Doncaster in South Yorkshire. Looking great there, Terry. Excellent choice of shirt there. Then next we have got Spencer Drury, who is from my hometown of Forest Town in Mansfield. It's his 50th birthday, so happy birthday, Spencer. If you see me in Asda in Forest Town, come and tap me on the shoulder and say hi. Lots of love there from Karen, Summer and Brandon. So here he is in his McMaster t-shirt there, and also some other merch as well. Looking great there, looking absolutely great. Next we have got Alan Turner from Tewkesbury with his McMaster mug. Here is Alan Turner. There we go, excellent. I hope that's got coffee in and not beer. Actually, the other way around. And then next we've got, what a lovely picture this one is. I really like this one. We've got Jess Oakley and Danny Hamer, all three in t-shirts there. I think that was a Father's Day present, and all three of them had to have them. Absolutely superb. What a great photograph that is. Very, very professional picture that was. We've also got Paul Robinson next from Workington in Cumbria. Here's Paul Robinson wearing his McMaster shirt, looking absolutely superb there. There we go, brilliant. And next we've got Alex Forsyth from Fife in Scotland in his McMaster t-shirt, which was a Father's Day present, I believe, from his daughter. So there we go. Excellent. What more do you want on Father's Day? Eh? Absolutely superb. And next we've got a couple of shout outs. We've got Damien Malkin from Manchester. Hello there, Damien. And we've got Asia Orchard. So hello. There we go. And that is the end of the shout outs. If you want any McMaster merchandise, lots of different designs, designed by yours truly. Used to be a graphic designer. In fact, I still am. Never stopped being a graphic designer. All the links are down below, and you can get your own McMaster merchandise down there. That is all from me today. Hopefully I'll be getting back over to the island of Tenerife sooner rather than later. I'm thinking July. Remember, stay safe, stay positive, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.